What's up, guys? What a crazy week. Some crazy nerds, especially ticker symbol INDO. So I've been trading for about 5 years, and because of looking at charts hours and hours a day, I can now smell if something is up. For example, 3 days ago, I mentioned in my chat room by sending a chart of INDO in my chat room and said, guys, this feels like it's trapping shorts, which means it could cause a short squeeze. So watch out. And guess what? Oh my God, it went up 300% in the next 2 days and still shows no signs of stopping. And quite a few messaged me that they caught a monster move, and I had a really nice win on this too. But I know even though I pounded the table multiple times in the last few days, and a lot of people in the chat didn't know how to trade it, and rightfully so, because they just don't know what to look for. Because I was at that stage in my trading career as well. I still miss a lot of trades all the time, right? But what made me think that this is a really good setup? So in this video, I'm going to explain what I saw here that made me put it in my watch list and think it's a trap in shorts and it could cause a massive short squeeze. So in this video, I'm going to talk about why I thought it could short squeeze and why I sent that alert at that time right before it happened, and how you could have day traded it, strategies you could use, and how you could have swing traded, because I know a lot of people swing trade. So they asked me if I could have swing traded. I personally day trade most of the time, 99% of the time. So for me, day trade works, but swing trade was even way better trade on this, right? So let's look into this together. So I'm going to open the chart of INDO. The first thing we do always is we look at the daily chart, and that's what the chart I sent. I sent the screenshot of this right here. So I'm going to maximize this and open daily chart of INDO. So right here, before this whole move happened, right here, I alerted, or I sent a chart right here. Guys, watch this and keep this in watch. And then I caught personally right here actually, and then caught it from here to here. That's it. This is all I caught. And I mean, obviously there was a lot of I left on the table, but still caught a really nice move, about like 50%. That's not the point. I'm going to talk about what actually happened here. So let's look into this. What I see that a normal person or person with less experience is not able to see. So it's all about technical analysis and understanding the psychology. Okay. So notice here what I saw. So let's just go back, and I'm going to go right here. So this is what I saw before. These two candles did not happen. These two big candles did not happen right here, right? So I'm going to remove these two candles, and I'm going to say what I saw before. So I saw till here. Okay. So this is what I was seeing. Now, notice here what's happening is that this is the high of the stock right here. So at $12.50. Okay. Now what's happening is that every time the stock made this high and then sold off. Okay. And then every time it tried to make this attempt, you see this, it comes up and then it gets sold off. It comes up, you see this wicks, comes up and it gets sold off. Basically what that means is that people who bought around this area are selling and cutting their losses as soon as it tries to come back up. Okay. Then again, this massive candle happened in one day. There was probably a news with some volume, notice here, and then it got sold off again. So anybody who bought, again, is all red. And then every time it tries to come back up, it gets sold off. Okay. So basically what I'm saying is that every time you see the stock comes up, people are selling. So it's weak. So that's what we have by now, okay, up till now. However, recently what's happening is that, look, there's huge volume. There was no volume before at all, and all of a sudden huge volume. Okay. And then the stock, instead of doing these candles, wicks, notice it's not doing that anymore. It's not going down anymore here. And instead of just keeps going up, I'm going to clean this up. It's keep going up. And now there was an all-time high right here, which it broke right here. What that means is that anybody who was buying or who was red here, because everybody who was just buying was just losing money here, because they buy and then it sells off. They were not losing money anymore for the first time ever on this stock, for the first time ever, because there's not a single person ever bought this stock, right, above $12. So anybody now, so shorts were always having amazing fun with this stock. They were buying, they were shorting it. Any pops, they were short. Any pops, they were short. But this time, when they short, it's not coming down anymore. That's the difference. That's what I see in the chart. By just looking at it in just 1 minute, I can tell. It was because, again, after looking for hours, I've spent over like 10,000 hours. In fact, maybe even more, right? So I can see that, hey, now if anybody who's shorted here expecting a similar action, right? Similar action, the fail, it's not happening anymore. It came down and it's not happening anymore. So look what happened here. Now, notice here, this is when I saw this. And when I saw this action, that's when I said, guys, looks like it's trapping shorts. And when that happens, what basically 99% of people do not understand this, and if they're shorting, they're like, oh, you know what, it's gonna come back down, But what's happening is that now, before, people who all bought here, they were like, before in the past, they were selling it, so it was helping the shorts to bring the price down. But now, since it has went above this level, which is this 1253 level, right? So now there's nobody at the back on the left side to sell the stock to drive the price back down. So now when they're shorting, it's not going down anymore. So now they're not making money and they're losing money. Okay. Now there's only a limit when they can hold, or they can take a loss, or they can bear the loss. If the stock keeps going up, right? They eventually have to cut their losses. And that's what happened here. This is all short squeeze. So this is what happened here. Next day, we had a catalyst, because this is an Indonesian oil stock company. We had a Russian war, unfortunately, and that drive the oil prices up. And that was acting as a catalyst. So it was just a perfect timing. It was trapping shorts, but then at the same time, there's a news catalyst on it, okay, which drove the price even up right here. So now what happened, all the people who shorted the stock right here, thinking that it's going to come down, it did not, like it did in the previous, okay? So now 80% of the people, what they do is they don't cut their losses. They keep adding shorts. Eventually they blow up their account, which causes a massive short squeeze. So this is all about getting short squeeze. People are not just blindly buying the stock. It's just because people are the accounts are blowing here. When someone cuts losses, they are forced to cut losses, because the stock keeps going up, and they can only, it's gone up 300%, right? So once it's up 100%, they're already down to zero. They're negative now, right? So this causes a massive short squeeze. So now that we understand that what's happening, so now see how we can trade this. Okay, so let's talk about first swing trade. Number one, we always look at the daily chart. So for swing trade, this would be the trade for swing trade. If you want to swing trade, so notice here there's a pattern forming. Okay, so notice here there's a, if I draw the top pivots, I talk about this trend lines all the time. Watch my previous videos. So there's a trend line break and the stock is holding above. So this is a good area to buy. Okay, and the stop would be, you always want to have a stop. If you don't have a stop, don't trade. So you buy here, and this around this area, your stop will be below this level. So if it doesn't hold above and it fails and it comes down, you cut your losses. Okay, so you enter here and your stop is here. So this is your risk. Okay, and obviously the reward just went nuts, right? So this would be a huge trade for a swing trade. Okay, I personally don't swing trade. So especially when I don't know, when the market is super uncertain, I don't know what's going to happen. The news overnight just completely kills or completely turns the stock around completely. So I don't want to hold anything overnight at this moment. So what I'm doing is I'm day trading. So in order to day trade, then you want to look at the multiple time frames. So now this is the daily chart, which I already know that I'm very bullish on this daily chart. I'm very bullish on this. So then that leaves me 5-minute chart, 1-minute chart, and then the 15-minute chart, where I look for strategies. So there are multiple strategies. One is trend line break and the other is the 15-minute moving average. Okay, so number one, which I alerted in my chat as well, right before the squeeze, right here, that I sent a screenshot of this trend, and it was right here. I sent a screenshot of this right here, and then as soon as it breaks, this is where you buy right here, and your stop will be the low of this candle, low of this triangle. Basically, it's forming a triangle pattern. So I'm gonna make this bigger. So notice here, it's forming this triangle pattern. Okay, so here it is. This is a triangle pattern. Okay, so it's formed this triangle, and then there's this triangle pattern. That's my drawing. So there's a triangle pattern, and then once it breaks out, you enter here with your stop loss below the support line, and then look what happened. Right, it just went nuts, went up straight up. Right, I entered here when I alerted you guys right here at the break. I took it at $30. I missed this move, guys. I missed this move, but it was a still really nice trade. I also had a VXX trade that I alerted, by the way, right here. I alerted VXX, right? So I alerted VXX right here, you guys. So this was this trend right here. Entered at the break, took this nice move up all the way up till here. So it was a really nice day. But let's talk about Indo. So this was one trade right here. This entry number one right here. So this was one trade. Okay. The second trade was the trend break, which happened during lunchtime. So I personally don't trade lunchtime, but since this was a really nice setup, it worked out really well, which is this one. So let's just clean it up again. So that's number one, your trend break. The second one was actually the break of the pre-market level, which I talk about all the time, the break of pre-market level. Okay, so the break of this pre-market level. Break, oops. Right here. So this would be the entry right here, the break of this level. Okay, the break of this level, which is right here. So this was another entry. The third entry, let's say you missed that as well. If you miss it, don't chase the stock. Look for another entry. Okay, if the stock is truly strong, it will give you more than one opportunity. So the next trade was this. So on the 15-minute chart, I talk about the 15 moving average. So what happened when the momentum stocks go up with no resistance on the back, it usually comes down to 15 minutes. So you buy at the 15-minute moving average, okay, at the support here, and then you just take this big ride, massive move. Another trade would be this, the final opportunity that it presented one more time with a massive gain was this trend break right here. Notice in the 5-minute chart, also on the 1-minute chart as well. So this is 5-minute chart, this is 1-minute chart. If the stock is, by the way, showing good pattern on multiple time frames, so it's a great pattern on the daily chart, great setup on the 15-minute chart, right? But at the same time, great setup on the 1-minute chart, great setup on the 5-minute chart. This is a very good setup. I've talked about this multiple times. Watch my previous videos and you will know. I'll put the link down below as well. But notice here, it broke this trend and then it held above it. So this is a good area to buy right here with the stop loss below the support level. So this is your risk and this is your reward. Okay, so always have a bigger reward than risk. So here it is, 4 different multiple ways to trade. Now, once you miss it, I get a lot of questions when the stock is already here and we're in the chat talking about, guys, great job or whatever, you know, good job, or guys, whoever took it, congrats, right? And then someone always messages, is it a good time to enter now? Well, the answer is no. Like, I wouldn't enter here. Why? Because if I enter right here, where will be my stop loss? My stop loss will be right here at the support level, which was my previous, right? So now I'm buying at this area with my stop loss here. So this is my risk. Well, then look at my reward. Obviously, my reward needs to be bigger. So if the risk reward is not there. And who knows, what if you buy here and it comes back down? Now you're going to lose so much more. And if it doesn't, if you make so much less. So why would you buy on the top? If you missed it, you missed it. You look for another opportunity, another 10 break, you wait for maybe come back down to support and then buy, but you don't chase. Do not ever ask, is it a good time to buy? Guys, you're not going to do well. So the rule of thumb is that if the stock, you already missed it, and people are congratulating each other, it's already too late. Go back, do your homework, learn what you should have done, and then do it next time again. Or look for another opportunity where it gives you good risk to reward. That's all it is, because all the other traders are also looking for good risk to reward. If there's no good risk to reward, the trade is not going to work out, because other people are not going to get in. If other people are not going to get in, it's not going to work out. So basically, you're going to lose, right? So I used to do this all the time. I still do it sometimes, but it has really, really minimized now. But this is a really, really important lesson. All right, guys. So I think this video has gone very long. Make sure, please subscribe if you think that it was helpful, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.